Well, hello and welcome everybody. We are back for another round of After School AI. This week, our AI Sandbox is going to be about Eduaide AI, and you can let us know in the chat if you have ever heard of Eduaide or if you have used Eduaide. I'm thinking that's probably not super likely because one of the reasons is that in Prairie Rose, we have not been really promoting Eduaide since it's been around for probably about 2 years now. Part of the reason was that initially it didn't have it was a great product, but it didn't have very good free capacity. And so you could do just a little bit, and then there was a paywall. And so even though early on I was really impressed with Eduaide, it just didn't have much free room. And since then, I know that um, they have changed that up, and so we're going to take a look at Educate because they do some neat things that can be helpful to us. So Eduaide is a teacher tool. It doesn't have a student component like some others. We know School AI, Magic School, Brisk has their Boost. Those tools have all developed like a student-facing tool. Actually, TeachAid also has a student side now where students join with a join code and they can have an AI experience under teacher guidance. Eduaide is strictly a teacher tool. One of the places that I like best are their games. They have some really great tools for math teachers. We're going to look at worked examples and just some of the workflow. So it works a little bit differently than some of the other tools. I think you will like it. So one of the things I didn't do ahead of time was open up the curriculum, Alberta, new K to 6. And so we're going to come on in here and we're going to pick, let's go science, grade 4. And so what we can do is we can just take a little bit of a curriculum outcome and we'll put that into our tool in a moment and see what happens there. Okay, so I've got a curriculum outcome and now I'm going to head over to Eduaide. So I'm at Eduaide.ai and you can make an account there if you haven't yet. And I'm going to click launch and we'll get into my account here. So when we come into Eduaide, you can see that it looks not terribly unfamiliar. It looks like an AI chat space for educators. It's got all these little different buckets or buttons that you can push to help you do something more efficiently as an educator. And like many of the other tools, the programming, the prompting has been built very specifically into these tools so that you don't have to be an expert prompter. You can use these tools to get what you want. Now, teachers always say, well, can't I just use ChatGPT? You might be able to use ChatGPT or Gemini or a more generic LLM tool. And those tools, you have to just be really great prompters and know how to really push the AI. One of the things you might like about Eduaide is that it has a nice workflow to it. So the very first thing that we're going to do is up at the top, I'm in the planning bucket here. There's presenting. So you can see real world examples, summarizes lots of practice items. So lots of essay, journaling, writing pieces, group activities. If you're familiar with Kagan activities, Jigsaw, so it'll help you create some of those. Think, pair, shares. And then one of my favorite categories is games. Jeopardy, bingo will come around and take a look at those. Questions. So they've got the basic multiple choice, true false ones that we'd expect, but they also have some others like matching and fill in the blanks. So they do some of the other ones as well. They have an assessment category that includes things like exit slips, class poll, rubrics. There's a feedback. Now, in this case, just to differentiate, a teacher would put student writing into the tool and the students, and then the teacher would give that feedback, send that feedback with the text back to the student. It's not a student-facing feedback tool. And then lots of administrative. So this would be like the report card comments, the emails, those pieces that we are used to seeing in other tools. And then finally, there is a favorites tab. And so lots of different options there. We are going to start with um, actually in the favorites tab, I want to start with prior knowledge and scaffolding. So I have in my clipboard something from grade 4 science. I'm just going to put that in. And so it's responsible methods of waste management can reduce negative impacts. Now, on the bottom right-hand side, there's this little button that says enhance. So when we click that, it kind of enhances the prompt. And then actually on the bottom right here, or bottom left, pardon me, this is from our grade 4 curriculum. So we want to make sure that our output is for grade 4. So we pick our curriculum on the bottom. Then what we're going to do is we're going to generate. And so basically, this prior knowledge, if I'm about to teach this concept or this unit, what do students need to know ahead of time? So this is a really great place to start. One of the things I like about the Eduaide tools is it's not just here's a canned lesson plan and it spits it out for you, but really it's about building quite customized for exactly what you're looking for. So now we have, before students study this, students should know some of these things. There's declarative knowledge, so types of waste, pollution, recycling, procedural knowledge, and then conceptual knowledge as well. And then on the bottom, it always goes to scaffolding options. So what kinds of things might we do ahead of time to help students get going? So we might start with a quick quiz or discussion about what students already know. Questions can include these kinds of things. So I could come in here and I could now come over to the chat space. Whoopsie. I did not intend to do that. So I'm going to come back to history. And up here, I have this space. I should be able to open that up. Oh. Load to workspace. So it saves my history. And
That's called a happy little accident. We're learning how to find something.
We would have done that again. Load to workspace. Well, maybe it's in the workspace. There it is. Okay, so that also tells me that I should fix my title. Naming conventions are really important here. So prior knowledge and scaffolding, grade 4. And actually, sometimes I put this up here, grade 4. I put grade 4 at the beginning, grade 4 science, prior knowledge and scaffolding, waste management. All right, so I'm going to, now I have a better title there. So what I can do now is in Eduaide, there's these little chat buttons. And so it's, we get a product and then we chat with that item. So you can see down bottom left, it says grade 4 science prior knowledge. I'm going to ask it to create, so it asks for a prior knowledge quiz. I'm going to say create a 3-question prior knowledge quiz. So there it's given me a multiple choice, a short answer, true, false. Now, those aren't earth shattering. I could have came up with those myself easily. So this isn't rocket science. What's happened right here, it's at the grade 4 level for sure. But you can get the point that it could ask you for some ideas. Use visual aids. Start with a simple task such as sorting a list of items. Oh, I like this one. So for number 5, can you give me a list of 20 items that we could use for a sort at the grade 4 level? Okay, so that's super helpful for me. I could, have absolutely come up with that list by myself. I probably wouldn't use all of those, but it's a great start. And now off I go. So that's a great use of AI. That time it took to come up with that list. I'll use some of those items. I'll find some other ones that are better or something that matches what I have, but that saved me a lot of brain work right there. Okay, so now what I want to do is I've got grade 4 waste management. I'm going to come up to the generator, and now I want to look for, I'm going to come into my favorites. I want to have some leveled readings. So with the leveled readings down here, I could upload a document. Maybe it's a historical document or a primary source. I could upload a document and it will level the readings for me. But here it will also create that for me. So I'm going to put my, I still have my science topic in there. So responsible waste method management. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask it to I'll enhance it again. Okay, and then I'm going to click, oh, whoa, I don't want to click generate because I don't have my grade level right. So I'm going to make grade 4. This is from the grade 4 curriculum. So now I'm going to generate, and you'll see why that was so important. Woo, that was close. So on the right-hand side, you'll see it opens up a new card. Each of these spaces we call a card. And so leveled readings at the top, it says, I'm going to name this real quick, like I like to do, grade 4 science. And then I'm going to put the topic in there. Okay, so passage 1, grade level 200 Lexile points higher. And so it's got a grade level baked in for 4th grade students. And then this is standard grade level for that waste management. We can see simpler sentences, fewer big transition words, and then a lower grade level passage as well. And so I think overall for artificial intelligence, that's one of the most useful and important things that we can do for our students is change grade levels so that it's approachable for them. And so instead of just sitting and doing nothing or, not being able to participate, students can have a document that works for them. So now what we could do is we could take this document and we could create, let's see, we could do questions from here. So let's do, go to questions, and let's say I want some multiple choice questions. 3 multiple choice, just generate those. So now this is going to be based off of my topic. Actually, I didn't do that very well. What I should have done was, okay, watch this. So I'm going to put back on my passages. Here, let's delete this one altogether. Close that. Back to my passages, I need to push the chat button. So I'm going to press the green little speech bubble at the top right. And now do you see here it says prior level knowledge, scaffolding, waste management. I'm going to click that off, but there's the leveled readings. So now I want here prompts. I want questions. I want multiple choice questions. And so now I didn't tell it how many. It's going to give me some questions based on that document.
Right? So Cami, those questions, because you have multiple reading levels, would those questions typically go to the lowest reading level, or is it a mix, do you think?
Based on the provided readings about responsible waste management. Probably about the general topics that would include all of them. So I could ask down here, I could say, now give me those questions for the lowest level reading passage. So if I want to be real specific, you can see right away the question stems are shorter. Okay, so I'm going to now take this part up here, and I want to take these more simple ones. I can add them to add to workspace, add to existing card, and I want to add it to the leveled reading. So if I click on this, it's going to add those to the bottom. So if I was going to move that into a different document or print it, they're all together. I could also come up here. I could ask for an open-ended question. It's giving me some. I could also ask for, sometimes it gives me other options. And I could ask it to put those all together in a single document. I can do lots of different things there. So we've got some prior activities, we've got reading passages, we've got some questions that we want, and we've combined them. Now, I want to make sure we have time to do some math. And so let's take a look at what that can look like in math. So that was pretty much.
Canny, and make sure you touch on the games, because you started off saying those were your favorite thing and we haven't done them yet.
Okay, the games. We're here because of the games. Okay, I'm going to show one math and then games. Okay, so over here, we're going to come back to the generator. And I do really want you to see this one. I want you to see, I can't remember which it's in, but I know I have it favorited. I want you to see worked examples. Okay, so I'm going to come back to the curriculum. I'm going to change the subject to math. We're going to go to grade 6. Tiffany, is there a math topic that you would like to see a worked example for? Let's do this.
Go ahead.
Okay, yep. I've got analyze numbers using prime factorization and exponents.
Good.
Fair?
Yep.
Okay, so what I'm going to do here is under worked example, I'm going to take and pop in my topic, and I'm going to click generate. And I am going to, I forgot to, I can set, if you are a classroom teacher and you teach grade 4, you can set your default to grade 4. Mine is obviously set to high school. So I'm actually going to close this, and I'm going to run it again at a 4th grade level. So that's more useful to us. So 4th grade, I'm going to run it again, and it's generating. Okay, so 4th grade. So it gives step-by-step solutions. It even makes a factor tree for us. And then it gives us some fading guidance pieces. It identifies common errors. And then it also provides some good practice questions, and then some areas of feedback, right? So what you might do if you want to provide feedback or a more detailed example. This one wasn't as, the step-by-step solution's pretty simple, but sometimes it looks quite complex. And so basically, if you think about what that looks like, worked examples are something that we really want to move toward. Students can often work better with the worked example. It'll give you one. You could actually give it the worked example that you want, and it would work that out for you. So that is a super neat math one. And then I could actually come down here. I could go to word problems. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to say create real world examples that have to do with orchestra and band, for example, or basketball or hockey or something the students might be interested in. So a music teacher wants to find out how many different ways the instruments can be grouped. Okay, that's pretty basic. So they're worded, they're worked out as far as orchestra, instruments, band. Those are some things that we can do as well. And the other thing is we can also have scenario-based questions. So all of those really work to customize our math pieces as well. But we are going to get into games. So games. Jeopardy style is one of my favorites. Word problems, grade 6. What was that? X prime factor. Okay, I'll just. Okay, so we have Jeopardy style. Let's not use math. Let's do some science. Come into grade 6 science and just pick a bunch of, oh, this is good. Science expansion. I'm going to just get kind of this part from our KLW, and I'm going to pop that into the topic area. We could also, you can see, we could pick a website if we had a document. So we could take, if we have a PDF or a chapter, we could put that whole chapter up. We could upload that. I'm just going to use this. I'm going to hit generate, and let's say we've got 4th grade, games, Jeopardy. We'll put that to 5th grade instead of middle school. Go. All right, so there it comes with a Jeopardy board, and it has review questions. So 100 with the answers. Sometimes it doesn't always generate the answers for me, but this looks like it did it quite well. Name and common material that expands when heated. There could obviously be lots of those. Metals, steel, or aluminum. Okay, so really quickly, we have a Jeopardy board. Now, if I was going through this as a content expert, I would likely not be thrilled with all of those, but look at this. We can easily edit. So now I'm in edit mode. And sometimes with the Jeopardy, it has like it's kind of flipped of how it should be, I think. So it should be like that the single word or the concept is the easy answer that people say. And I usually when I come in here, we won't take time today, but I ask it to flip the questions and the answers. And then it turns into a little bit more Jeopardy style so that the questions are closer. All right. So that's Jeopardy. That is pretty nice. Let's do the same thing. Let's go. Actually, first of all, I'm going to save that, and I'm going to say Jeopardy. This was grade 6 science.
Is there an export tool?
No.
Cami, if you...
It does not have a great export tool. You can copy it and paste it into a document. So it doesn't have an export tool like some of the others do. Not at least I'm in the free version, so it might in the paid. I don't know that I've ever had a paid version. Let's try. Tiffany, is there one you want to try for sure? It runs a nice quick bingo board.
Sure.
Okay.
That'd be a good math one too.
Yes. So there's my concepts. Teacher recall questions. So it gives you some different kinds of questions. So the idea is you give the question, the student has to add. Now I see here that it only gave me one question. So then what I would do is I would come to add to chat. Bingo style. This is grade 6. So name that so I can find it. And then what I'm going to say is I now need 12 different, maybe we're going to do this in pairs, bingo boards based on the original board so that each student has a different card. This is actually something that's quite difficult to get a spreadsheet to do in ChatGPT. Other programs do this. So it's coming out quite nice. Sometimes when I've done it, it hasn't given me, some of those have 6, some of them have 5. It stopped at 9. Maybe I was interfering with it because I was scrolling. Oh, there it comes. Sometimes it doesn't fill up all the boxes, and it looks like it might have, nope, there they are. But they have 6 instead of 5, so that's interesting. I didn't specify. Usually it gives me a 5 by 5 board, but they're all full. So that was pretty quick. Again, Before I did that, I would have gone back into my original bingo board and made sure that I liked all of the words that were there. I didn't this time, but that would certainly be something that you could do really quickly. So that is our bingo board. Let's go back to the generator games. So what I love about this is how quick this comes up. Ooh, I've never done Battleship, but I'm curious. Should we do Battleship? We're going to put this into the, I'm going to put the, I'm going to come down here. I'm going to put that, oh, that's math. Oh, let's see what it does with math. Okay. Bingo style, grade 6 science, prime factors. Let's see what happens. I want generator, games, bingo style. I'm going to put whatever's in my clipboard, I guess. Grade 6 science. And I haven't used, oh, was it bingo again? Oh, oops. Okay, let's see how it does that, if it does that differently. So it gave me a different bingo board. I did not mean to do bingo board. Let's try Battleship and see what happens. Sorry about that. Now it's on Battleship and it's on 11th to 12th. Let's make that for 5th grade. Okay, so there's our grid. And there are some questions. Game rules. Players take turns guessing coordinates. Each player will highlight. So the kids just mark off on their bingo board. So they have to practice coordinates. And then those review questions. Players take turns guessing coordinates to locate the ships. Each player will highlight. When a player guesses a coordinate, if they hit a ship, they must state the definition of the vocabulary word or answer the relevant review question to sink. So when you find a boat, in order to get a sink mark, you have to answer the question correctly. So simple concept, but there again, it gives you a list of questions to play. It gives you a list of words. So that would be a great partner game. All right. Yes, a cool retrieval. Yes, Tiffany. So think of like these as quick retrieval practice. Quiz trade. I don't know if you've ever used that, but that is another really good quiz trade. So to get like just quick information, of course, we have to 80-20 as a teacher. We have to go through and make sure that it fits our curriculum, that it's getting the right piece, but really quick ways to do quick retrieval practice that are human-based, right? So they're not necessarily using a computer-generated software like 99 Math or a math game. These are humans together playing games, but you haven't had to spend hours and hours making them. So that is Eduaide. If we come back to the history, you can see here, this bingo one was a duplicate. I'm going to delete that. And my Battleship style, I would want to change to grade 6 science. And I think that was materials that we had in there. So we always just want to make sure that we have good labeling, because you can see here that we get lots and lots of items. Okay.
So Cami, I couldn't find anything to confirm that an output or a export changes with a paid subscription. It's just the number of generations, I think, that you have.
I believe so. So I know that will change for sure. And when I've watched and talked to the CEOs, they've talked about copying and pasting stuff into the document of your choice. So I'm pretty sure that is kind of how that works there. So that is Eduaide. Again, it's not a student-facing tool. There's no there's not a student section. But what I like is it's got some really pieces that are not just like the generic, here's a letter, here's a joke teller, here's an email, but they've got some real educationally strong pieces. This lesson seed, it's actually interesting. It's not a lesson generator, but it helps you go step by step to developing a lesson just how you would like it. It's got a backward design organizer. So again, another great lesson framework. So I like this. The planning parts here are a great example because they're more specific, teacher directed, as opposed to just, print me or get AI to do a crappy lesson plan for me. And then again, the games are great, and some of like that math, like the worked examples, lots of the other tools will do the scenario based, but those worked examples are something that I haven't seen a lot of other places either. So with that, that is Eduaide, and we are going to stop recording. Yes, we are.